meditation to your please accept my humble obeisances. All closure to Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamuthirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 13, text 1 to 12. Chapter 13, Description of Future Manus. Text 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, the present Manu, who is named Shraddhadeva, is the son of Vivaswan, the predominating deity of the sun planet. Sharadadeva is the seventh Manu. Now please hear from me as I describe his sons. Text 2 to 3. O King Parikshit, among the 10 sons of Manu are Ikshvaku, Nabhaga, Drishta, Saryanti, Narisyanta, and Nabhaga. The seventh son is called as Dishta. Then come Tarusa and Prasadhara, and the 10th son is known as Vasuma. Text 4. In this Manvantara, O King of Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, the Visvavedas, the Maruts, the two Ashwini Kumara brothers, and the Arbhas are the demigods. Their king head Indra is Purandhara. Text 5. Kashyapa, Atri, Vasistha, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jamadagni, and Bharadwaja are known as the seven sages. Text 6. In this Manvantara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as the youngest of all the Adityas, known as Vamana, the draft. His father was Kashyapa and his mother Aditi. Text 7. I have briefly explained to you the position of the seven Manus. Now I shall describe the future Manus along with the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Text 8. O King, I have previously described in the 6th canto the two daughters of Vishwakarma named Sagnya and Chaya, who are the first two wives of Vivaswan. Text 9. It is said that the sun god had third wife named Vadava. Of three wives, the wife named Sampna had three children, Yama, Yami, and Shardadeva. Now let me describe the children of Chaya. Text 10. Chaya had a son named Savarna and a daughter named Tapati, who later became the wife of King Samvarna. Chaya's third child is known as Sanaischara, Saturn. Vadadeva gave birth to his two sons, namely the Ashwini brothers. Text 11. O King, when the period of the 8th Manu arrives, Savarni, who became the Manu, Nirmoka and Virajaksha will be among his sons. Text 12. In the period of the 8th Manu, among the demigods will be the Satapas, the Varajas, and the Amrita Prabhas. The king of the demigods, Indra, will be Bali Maharaj, the son of Virochana. I'm sorry for the misspell of the few words in between. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prashanti Mataji, for reading today's Bhagavatam section translations. And thank you all for joining. Thank you, Sundarananda Prabhu, for giving this opportunity to share a few points from Srila Prabhupada's purpose. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 13, the description of future Manus. Slokas 1 to 12. So I'll start with the prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिधि नामने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पश्चात्प्रदेशतारिणि। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Yeah. So just to give a background, with the last chapter we have completed the beautiful pastimes of Supreme Lord as Mohini Murti incarnation, and also we have uh, heard and read the churning of the Milk Ocean and so many things that are appeared from the churning of the Milk Ocean like that. And we heard that this pastime of churning Milk Ocean or Mohini Murti incarnation that is happened in the sixth manu of the current day of Lord Brahma, so which is Chakshusha Manvantara. And then we heard how Lord Shiva, when he heard about the pastime of Mohini Murti, incarnation of the Supreme Lord, so he was very much curious to see the Supreme Lord's Mohini Murti incarnation. So he, along with his wife, Mother Uma, and his servants, Bhutaganas, so they all, along with all of them, so he came to the Supreme Lord, and then he glorified Supreme Lord, offered obeisances, and then he expressed his desire that he want to see this Mohini Murti incarnations. And then Supreme Lord, who is very kind to his devotees, Bhaktavatsala, so to fulfill Lord Shiva's desire, so he expanded his energy and manifested himself in the form of a beautiful and attractive woman. And then we heard how Lord Shiva, though he is a great exalted personality, being an instrument in this Supreme Lord's pastime, so he was captivated by this beautiful and attractive woman form of the Supreme Lord. And then we heard how it happened. And then later, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, so he controlled himself, then came back and then glorified the Supreme Lord. So, and that pastime also demonstrates the power of the Supreme Lord's various energies. How in this material world also, through the external energy of the Supreme Lord, so everyone is captivated by the form of a woman in this material world also. So only way to overcome from that lust or the attraction to the opposite gender is to take shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So that way we can overcome the influence of the Maya, which is very strong. Maya Duratyaya. So this pastime was shown to stress that part. So then we hear like Lord Shiva, he was not agitated or ashamed, and then he circumambulated the Supreme Lord, and then he left to his own abode. So this pastime happened in the sixth manvantara of the current day of Lord Brahma, which is Chakshusha manvantara. So now Sukadeva Goswami is going to narrate from the seventh manu to 14th manu in this chapter and upcoming chapters, like that. So in the first sloka of today's section, so Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning that the present manu, who is the seventh manu, Saptamaha, seventh manu. So who is that? That manu is Shraddha Deva. So Shraddha Deva. And who is he? He is the son of Vivaswan. Vivaswataha. So he is the son of Vivaswan. And the Vivaswan is mentioned here as the predominating deity on the sun planet. Of course, we hear from Bhagavad Gita also. And basically, this sun god is a position, and where the who is the sun god in this manvantara is Vivaswan. So, like that, these are all the positions, the Manu, demigods, and all those things. And whoever is qualified, and by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, they will occupy it. So the same Vivaswan name also comes in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna mentions that Imam Vivasvate Yogam Poktavanaham Avyayam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manurikshvake Abravit, like that. Krishna says that I have given this knowledge, the science of yoga, to the sun god. So who is that sun god? Vivaswan. And then later Vivaswan instructed to his son Manu, and Manu is instructed this same information, forward that knowledge to his son Manu, Ikshvaku, like that. So, even in that sloka also, Prabhupada mentions that all these demigods, like whether sun god, Vayu or Indra, Varuna, they're all empowered by Krishna. So even the sun god is mentioned in the Brahma Samhita, how he is empowered, like Yachakshure Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Swaramurti Rasesha Teja Yasyajnaya Brahmata Sambrata Kala Chakra Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Vacham. So this Vivaswan, the sun god, so as king of all planets, and he had immense power and heat, but under whose order the sun is traveling orbit 24/7. So that Supreme Lord is Govinda, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Vachami, like that. And another point, we also hear that this Shraddha Deva, we'll hear in the previous life of Shraddha Deva in the upcoming chapter as a Satyavrata, the king Satyavrata. So this will come in the upcoming chapter, where Parikshit Maharaj, when he wanted to hear about the Matsya Avatara, so Krishna's incarnation as the fish incarnation. So that also happened in the 6th Manvantara, or Chakshusha Manvantara, which is the previous Manu. We are currently in 7th Manu, Vaivashvana Manvantara, but in the previous Manu, which is the Chakshusha Manvantara, that time this one of the pastime of the Supreme Lord as Matsya Avatara happened. And Parikshit Maharaj wanted to hear. So in that also it is mentioned that this Shraddha Deva is at that time is a king Satyavrata. Yo asa asmin mahakalpe tanayaha sa vivasvataha Shraddha Deva iti khyato manutve harina arpiti, like that. Say that in the present menu, like millennium, which is 6th Manvantara, King Satyavrata. So later he will become as the son of Vivaswan. So and also he will be given the post of Manu by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So of course, in that past time we'll hear more about that. But Shraddha Deva is also mentioned as King Satyavrata in his past life. In the next sloka, we see that 2 to 3. So the sons of Manu were Ikshvaka, Nabhaga, Drishta, Saryati, Narishyanta, and Nabhaga. And 7th son is Dista, and then Tarusa and Prashadra. The 10th son is Vasmanu. So these are the 10 sons of the Manu. So this Canto is predominantly talks about, describes the Manvantras, like, so basically in every Manvantara we will see the 6 kinds of personalities. So that's mentioned in the 12th canto also. Manvantaram Manurdeva Manuputra Sureshwaraha Rushayo Amsavatarascha Hare Sadvidam Uchyate. Like, these are the 6 personalities. So in every Manvantara we'll see Manu, and then the sons of Manu, Manuputra, and then the Deva, the demigods, and then Sureshwaraha, Indra, and then Rushayo, the Saptarushis, and then Manvantara Avatara. So these are the 6 personalities that we will hear in every Manvantara, predominantly in this canto. So as part of that, this 7th Manvantara, so we have heard the Manu is the Shraddha Deva, so who was King Satyavrata in his previous life. And here is mentioned the 10 sons of Manu, so Ikshvaku, like that. And also all these are the manifestations of the Supreme Lord. So they're all empowered by the Supreme Lord. For what purpose? To manage this universe. So they're all jivas, part and parcel of Krishna. So being parcel of Krishna, so we have the same qualities, but the quantity is very minute. We are anu, so we are very limited, minute. whereas Krishna is mentioned as Vibhu, unlimited. So, but the quantity of any quality of a particular jiva can be increased or decreased by the Supreme Lord's Krishna's mercy. So it is not in our control. So when Krishna wants a jiva to perform the role of Lord Brahma, then he will empower it by increasing the quantity of that particular jiva opulence. So similarly, here we see that all these great personalities are empowered by the Supreme Personality to manage this universe. So some of them we also hear these great personalities in Bhagavatam or other scriptures. Like Ikshvaku, we hear even in Bhagavad Gita where the Manu forwarded or gave the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita or the science of self-realization to his son Ikshvaku, like that. And we hear that also Ikshvaku is a ideal king. So he's a role model for all the kings for ruling the kingdom and maintaining his citizens, like that. So that's why when King Parikshit, when he was born, all the learned Brahmanas headed by Dhaumya and Krupacharya, when they saw his uh, astrology, then they did not mention to Yudhishthira Maharaj that in the perspective of ruling, he's exactly like a King Ikshvaku. So Parikshit Maharaj was compared to Ikshvaku. So with that we understand that you can see that Ikshvaku is a ideal and role model for maintaining his citizens and ruling the kingdom, like that. So that's why the Sun dynasty after Ikshvaku is also called Ikshvaku dynasty, and then later Raghuvamsha, like that. And in this dynasty, Lord Ramachandra also appeared in this dynasty. Ikshvaku Vamsha Vitirya Gurur Nideshya, like that. So the Supreme Lord, as Lord Ramachandra, so he appeared along with all his plenary expansions in the family of Maharaj Ikshvaku, like that. So these are all great personalities. And Vikshvaku, with the help of his guru, Vasistha Mahamuni, he achieved the liberation by practicing the Bhakti Yoga, like that. So like that, all these great personalities, we'll hear about the Nabhaga when we come to the Amrish Maharaj first time, because he is the grandson of Nabhaga. Amrish Maharaj is the grandson of Nabhaga. And then, so this Drishta, another son is Drishta. So there is from him, there is a Kshatriya dynasty called Dasta came. And some of the members of this family, they achieved the position of Brahmanas, even though they were born in the family of Kshatriya, but due to their purifying their qualities, so they became as a Brahmana. Because either becoming Brahmana or Kshatriya or these things, all these things, Krishna mentions that Guna Karma Vibhagasa. Chaturvarnam Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasa. So they're all based on the qualities and activities. So if someone, though he was born as in the caste of in the family of Kshatriyas, but if they have the qualities of Brahmana, then they can be situated in the Brahmana position. So similarly, if they don't have the appropriate qualities, and they can become as a Vaishya or Sudra also. Prabhupada mentions this one pastime, this person called Satyakama Javala. So he's a son of a prostitute. So one time he went to Gautam Muni, and then he requested whether he can be trained as a Brahmana. So, and then Gautam Muni generally asked him, like, who is your father? Because he generally accepts the sons of a Brahmana and trains them as a Brahmana, because that's very conducive. And then he went and asked his wife, I mean his mother, and then from his mother, he came to know that so his mother has many connections with many men. So then he comes back and he tells as it is, though it is very, it's not a palatable information, but he is not ashamed to tell the truth. So he told the truth to Gautam Muni that is the son of a prostitute. And that truth and honesty. That quality is one of the quality of a Brahmana. So Gautam Muni understood that he has that qualities. So then he accepted him as his disciple and then trained him as a Brahmana, like that. So like that, uh, though one is born in some Varna, he can become as a different Varna based on his qualities and activities. So Drishta is some of his family members are mentioned as Brahmanas. So like that, there are several other great personalities we see in this loka: Sariyati, Narishyanti, Nabhaga, so and Dishta, Tarusha, Prasada. These are all the 10 sons of Manu. And then Sukadeva Goswami mentions who are the demigods and who is the king of the heavenly planet, or Indra, the position. So here we see that Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Viswadevas, Maruts, and Aswini Kumaras, brothers, and Rubhush. They're all the demigods. Because in every mantra, these are the one of the section of personalities who will be mentioned as the demigods. So these are all the demigods. And then who is the Indra? Who occupies the position of Indra is the Purandara. So we'll see that in every mantra, who is the Indra also mentioned in this canto. So for the current manvantara, the Vaivasvanata manvantara, the Indra is Purandara. So whenever we hear about Indra in the pastime of Supreme Lord Krishna, who appeared in the previous yuga, Dwapara Yuga, so then we see that we could understand that that Indra's name is the Purandara. So we hear Indra in many places, am I right? In the pastime of Supreme Lord Krishna, in the 10th canto, like when Krishna is about to appear, then all the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, they all go and pray to the Supreme Lord Krishna in the prison cell. So at that time, even the Indra is also there. So that Indra is Purandara. Because there are many other pastimes where Indra later, one time he became proud of his position, and then Krishna wanted to save him from that proud. So he performed the pastime of Govardhana, lifting the Govardhana hill like that. So, and then Krishna saves Indra from that false pride. So, and all those pastimes are connected to this great personality Purandara. Of course, when Krishna wanted to show some instructions to the general condition living entities of this material world, so he usually makes the instruments of these great personalities, and then he will teach lessons. And then the next section of the great personalities that are part of this Manvantara is Kashyapa, the Saptarishis. So we have Kashyapa, Atri, Vasista, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jamadagni, and Bharadwaja. So these are all 7 sages. So they are all great personalities. Here, most of them in the scriptures about them. Like Kashyapa Mahamuni is the son of Marichi, and he married 17 daughters of Daksha Prajapati, and through them, so he produced so various types of living entities. That's why he's one of the Prajapati also. So he's the father of Garuda, like that, So many many conditioned living entities appeared in this material world through him, like various species like that. And Jamadagni also, we hear that he is the father of the Supreme Lord in his Shakti Avatar as Parshuram, like that. And how Parshuram had a conflict with Kartikeya Arjuna, and Kartikeya Arjuna is wanted to grab forcefully the Kamadhenu cow from Jamadagni, like that. So similarly, we hear Vasistha Mahamuni and Vishwamitra. So they enacted as the gurus of Lord Ramchandra. We hear that in Ramayanam. And they also had a conflict. So like that, we hear these great personalities in the scriptures. And then the next one is the Manvantara Avatara. So who is the Manvantara Avatara? The Supreme Lord. So he appeared as the Vamana. So in this Manvantara, Krishna, one of the incarnation of Krishna is the Vamana, the dwarf. Vamana Rupatrik. So of course we hear from the Dashavatara sloka or in the upcoming chapters also more details about Vamana Avatar during the Bali Maharaj's pastime. But in Dashavatara sloka we hear Jayadev Goswami mentioning that, Chalayasi Vikramane Balimadbhuta Vamana Padanaka Janita Jana Pavana Keshavadrita Vamana Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Like that, even the Jaidev Goswami also mentions Krishna appearing as the Vamana avatar, and he did a massive steps and took all the Bali's King Bali Maharaj's opulences, and he also brought the Ganges water from the Karanadoka ocean into this universe. Uh, like that, this pastime will be narrated in the uh, upcoming chapters, and Bali Maharaj's section comes, and is mentioned as the uh, son of Kashyapa and Mother Aditi. And we also hear this the Kashyapa and Mother Aditi in the previous life, they are the Prishni and Sutapa. So they performed great austerity and received from Krishna a boon that he will appear as their son. So in that lifetime, he appeared as a Prishni Garbha, and when they appeared as a Kashyapa and Aditi, so he appeared as the Vamana Avatara. And then in the Dwapar Yuga, when they appeared as Vasudeva and Devaki, Krishna appeared as Vasudeva, like that. So then Sukadeva Goswami mentions that, so he has briefly explained the position of the seven Manus. So he has given details of the seven Manus of the current day of Lord Brahma. Now he is going to give details of the future Manus along with the Lord Vishnu's incarnation. And then in the eighth sloka, we see that Sukadeva Goswami mentioning that the two daughters of Vishwakarma, so they are Samya and Chaya. So they are the first two wives of Vivaswan. So those two are the wives of Vivaswan. And then he also had a third wife who was Vadava. So and of the three wives, now the children of these three wives are given, the sun god wives. Samna, he had three children, Yama, Yami, and Shabdadeva. So this Yami is the Yamuna, so the personification of Yamuna river. So and then Yama is Yamaraj, Shabdadeva is the Manu, so who was also mentioned earlier as the son of Vivaswana, right? So then the next children of the Vivaswan, the sun god, is mentioned here as the Savarni, the Chaya's son, Savarni, and Tapati, and who later became the wife of the king Samvarna. And the Chaya's third son is Saturn, Sinischa. And then we hear the third wife sons, two sons, Ashwini Kumaras. And of course, most of these slokas doesn't have purport, so only the 11th sloka has purport in this section. And now we are in the 11th sloka. Sukadeva Goswami mentions that when the 8th Manu arrives, the Savarni, so the Savarni becomes a Manu, and Nirmoka and Virajakska will be his sons, because in every Manvantara, Manu and Manu sons will be presented. And here Prabhupada mentions that we are in the current Manu, 7th Manu, who is Vaivashvata Manvantara. But according to the astronomical calculations, we are in the 28th Yuga of Vaivasvata Manvantara. And each Manu rules are be in that position for 71 Yugas. But we are only in the 28th Yuga. So there are many more Yugas to go. And there are 14 Manus in one day of Lord Brahma. And here Sukadeva Goswami, from the authorities that he heard, he could able to foretell he could able to tell who are the future Manu. So the eighth Manu is a Savarni who is going to appear many millions years after, but still he was able to give that. So that is the power of the scriptures. It can the predictions of all the whatever mentioned in the scriptures that are accurate and that will come. So even we hear that the Kalki Avatara is going to come at the end of the Kali Yuga. Krishna appears in the Shambhala Grama, is the son of Vishnu Yasa, like that. So similarly, some of the things that are mentioned in the scriptures that are also appeared, that are also come to like the scriptures predicted Mahaprabhu will appear in the first part of the Kali Yuga, which has happened like that. So all these things that are mentioned in the scriptures, so we hear that they're accurate, and with that authority, Sukadeva Goswami is able to tell. So who are going to be the future Manus and who are going to be the Manu sons and the demigods, Saptarishis, all those things. So that's the power of the scriptures, very accurate. And the last sloka for today's section, the eighth Manu, the period of eighth Manu, the demigods will be Sutapas, the Virajas, and the Amrita Prabhas. So these are all the demigods. And the Indra, the post Indra, will be occupied by Bali Maharaj, so the son of Virochana. So in the seventh Manvantara, Bali Maharaj is there in the lower planet system. But when eighth Manvantara comes, so in the next Manvantara, Bali Maharaj will become the Indra. He will occupy the post of Indra by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So I'll pause it here. So we'll hear more about the other future Manos in the upcoming slokas. So I'll stop here. Thank you all for joining. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.